welcome to Ringside Seat, live after Royal Rumble 2018. I am your host, Brian Attard, along with Team Sports Box, Anthony Morales here, Mike Velardi is here, and of course, Mike Galetta.
And this guy in the back.
And this guy in the back, Dave Birdbaum, hashtag Buy with Burn, the sponsor.
Dave might be more excited about the block pools than he was about the Rumble tonight.
Yeah, so that was just the end of the Rumble. I think we're all a little surprised at the moment. Mike, your thoughts? Anything you want to key off with?
You know, you guys have watched this more than me, but I'll tell you, I thought it stunk. I didn't like it at all. I thought the way it was set up, the way it was, just everything. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
Brian Hess is on his way. He'll be here shortly. Actually,
Thanks, Brian.
Won a championship belt tonight. At least
Brian will be here all night, 3 o'clock in the morning.
At least somebody did. So, interact with the show. We have the chat room up here. Whatever you guys want to have any questions, but I guess the first thing we'll get started with is better Rumble, men's or women's?
Oh, women's, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it was women's.
Look, the women knocked it out of the park, and we'll talk a little bit about the finish, but Asuka definitely should have won. I thought it should have been her and Nia Jax at the end to kind of prove Asuka's, I guess, strength in a way as a character. But we have a lot to talk about, especially that ending.
That's what it is.
There's really nothing to talk about on the men's side.
The women's Rumble was fantastic.
Besides the ending, I thought the women's Rumble was fantastic.
So, you compare. Okay, so first of all, we're talking about some of the matches. The tag matches were largely irrelevant. I know the Raw tag titles changed. I don't really care. As we predicted on the show earlier in the week, the only reason Kane was in that championship match was to give Brock Lesnar somebody who's not named Braun Strowman to beat and win.
You could have watched our show on Thursday, and we would have told you everything that was going to happen. We basically did. But you're dead on
things
there.
that would have made sense.
Right. Yeah. And, as fate would have it, they all came to fruition.
I'm at a loss for words. You know, my expectations are always low going into these things because I've learned too often to get them high because something's going to happen.
Yep.
How did they screw that up?
Because it's a WWE, and that's what they do now. Let me say this: who here likes Shinsuke Nakamura winning the Royal Rumble? Show of hands. Thank you.
It was as bad as when Roman Reigns won it in Philadelphia.
Well, you know what's funny? So, you know, we all got a chance to watch the Rumble together. We enjoyed each other's company. Other than that, it was terrible because...
Hold on.
Not really.
Chris Wilhelm likes that Shinsuke Nakamura won. Anybody want to tell him why?
Chris Wilhelm won our little pool.
Yeah.
He's 5 bills larger
He
right
might be the only one. And I'm actually taking a little bit of heat on Facebook about it too, which I'm proud to back up.
Heat on Facebook because...
I'm not a big Nakamura fan. I don't think he does he doesn't do anything for me. I don't think he does a whole lot for the company. I get some people's fetish for him, but I'm just not one of those people. I'm sorry.
But it's mind-boggling because everything led... I mean, the way the show was booked, right? As soon as the men's Rumble went on, like the third match in, you kind of start, the wheels start turning. You say, why are they doing this? They've never done this before. Mm-hmm. You start to think to yourself, okay, that means something big's going to happen at the end of the women's Rumble.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
And it kind of did, but my God, how do you ruin that moment the way that they did?
I'm okay with how they did it. I'm okay with Ronda not being in the match. Ronda Rousey, for those of you who weren't watching, did come out at the end of the night, is a part of WWE now. And she's just going to transform this women's division, which is fantastic. But I don't mind that they did it because they're going to keep you watched. They're going to get you to tune in tomorrow night on Raw, potentially, if she's on Raw. If not, at least SmackDown on Tuesday. So there's the element of surprise there. What's she going to say? What's she going to do? She didn't say anything. She didn't fight anybody, which was cool. I'm okay with that. But there was just there was too much nothingness there. I'd rather her come out and kind of stare down a couple people and show that badass Ronda Rousey personality, and then go backstage. So that would have been enough.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, and Mike talked about that too, about that ending with Ronda Rousey. I mean, you knew it was coming, that she was going to be here, and you didn't know what capacity. To put her in at 30 and maybe not even get her to wrestle or something to that effect, it would have been a little bit better than how they brought her out. First they brought her out and she was smiling at everybody, and then she walked in the aisle, she looked a little ticked, then she started smiling again, and then she went in the ring, and she looked at people, she went to get a handshake, she got smacked, and then she points to WrestleMania and she leaves.
It was a bit clumsy.
It was terrible. Like Brian said, you're going to bring her out in better fashion than that. It was dumb to me. It was really, it was.
Anyone add?
I think Ant pretty much hit the nail on the head. I mean, I really don't have much to say because I lost both pools. And I mean, I didn't get anybody else halfway decent.
Just some comments coming into the chat. Brandon Gazara, no Brian, it sucked. Women's was better. Dave Burnow says that we're all very cute. Dan Bakley, I bet Rousey wins the Raw title at Elimination Chamber, then faces Asuka.
We got a special guest.
Get in your hats.
We got a guest. Go ahead.
So
that beautiful belt.
the champ is here.
Yeah,
So guys, as you can see, Sportsbox member Brian Hess, he's bringing the belt right now. Well done.
The champ is here.
The champ is here.
I want to thank all you guys. This is actually the most live viewers we've ever had at one time. Which is pretty cool. We're doing wrestling here.
And it's 11:30 at night.
Justin, I'm tired of Vince trying to please another foreign market with these rumbles. That's all tonight was. Here's my...
We're going on, baby.
Great night, Justin, because we had to labor through Jinder Mahal for the longest time.
So where's your thoughts? I mean, we were all kind of...
Well, listen, I was very disappointed with the pay-per-view as a whole. Yeah, Nakamura winning was great. I was expecting Rousey to come out at 30 in the Women's Rumble.
Do you know why you were expecting that? Because it would have made sense.
Well, yeah,
what the hell did we just watch?
I don't know.
How do you screw that moment up?
And like the whole pointing at the WrestleMania sign afterwards.
It was
what
so
was
awkward.
that?
It was so awkward.
First
It
of
was
all,
very awkward.
nobody knows why she's there. All she does is point at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
So we're led to assume that she's going to be fighting in WrestleMania. So we also assume that she's going to be fighting in WWE. We had no idea why she was there. Stephanie McMahon played it off okay. But what is she doing? I would have just liked to have her come out, just stare down everybody.
Right. She hasn't done anything in WWE yet, and that's how they introduce her.
Oh, and by the way, give her own attire. Don't copy off of Roddy Piper.
That was awful.
Yeah,
terrible
Yeah,
music stuff.
Good call.
I wasn't a fan of that. Guys, a lot of new viewers to the show. If you want to like the Sports Box, like Ringside Seat, we really do appreciate that. TK White Alpha, Rousey versus Brock. Yeah, probably not going to happen there. But here's the thing.
I'd love to see that ass beat.
Lesnar gets smoked.
For a change, they set the table for a big happening.
They did.
Mm-hmm.
And then they failed again.
And then, as consistently as possible, they blew it up.
Yeah.
They had, first of all, that music for Ronda Rousey.
Was terrible.
Ronda Rousey's supposed to come in as this, just like, I'm going to kill you.
Yep.
From UFC, I've beaten up everybody except for one person.
They should have just gave us Mr. Softy tunes. And that would have probably been better than Mr.
I mean, that has been built up since WrestleMania 31. Mm-hmm. And I can't think of a worse way to introduce her.
Yeah. No, I completely agree.
If you said, Brian, think of the worst possible way to introduce Ronda Rousey.
That would
That
have
would've
been it. That would have been it. You couldn't have scripted any
I don't
better.
understand.
You couldn't have scripted any
Like
better.
when she came out there with The Rock at WrestleMania,
That
stared
was-
down Stephanie and
was
Triple
great.
H,
Right.
and you're
Come
thinking
out
to
with an
yourself,
attitude,
you're thinking
right?
to
Come
yourself,
out.
2 years from now, she's
Right.
coming back.
But she's gonna come out with like some Nia Jax
Exactly.
music. I'm gonna beat somebody up.
And listen,
Not
don't
this
sprint into the ring and just like staring at people, start pointing at them, and then just leave. And if you want to do that, that's fine.
Paul Allen, was The Rock in it? No, he was not. Again, the Women's Rumble was better than the men's. The men's was a huge disappointment. The only two, I guess, older guys they brought back were damn Shane Helms. Who the hell was that? And I guess Rey Mysterio, which you got to think, I don't know if
Yeah.
that's permanent. Probably not.
Mike was a big fan of
I don't
Gold Dust.
know. He
When
looks a
Gold
little
Dust
slim.
was
He
there.
looks a little slimmer not on the juice
Only
anymore.
me.
An observation.
And again, they need to be concerned about this because we both watched TakeOver together.
Yes.
TakeOver destroyed what I just saw.
Oh my God! By
Yes.
far.
NXT TakeOver
By far,
is
oh
the
my
show.
God.
But if
Well,
you that
listen.
versus the Rumble,
Watch Adam Cole and Aleister Black, and watch the title match between Johnny Gargano and Andrade Cien Almas,
Unbelievable.
who had a nice little Rumble
he did.
performance.
They brought both. Yeah.
But watch those two matches. I mean, absolute classics, and just like paled what we just saw in the Royal Rumble.
WWE is the name right now. NXT is the actual show that you should be watching.
Correct.
If it wasn't for the many years of WWE history, it wouldn't exist anymore.
And here's what's great about NXT is because like I don't watch NXT every week, but
Neither do I.
okay, but I watch the takeover events, and so I don't know the stories going into the fights, into the matches, but they do a hell of a job of storytelling in the ring, which WWE doesn't ever do anymore.
Yep.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. 2 years ago, we were here for I believe it was a Royal Rumble again, and Roman Reigns won in Philadelphia. We all thought that was crap too.
Well, no, so Roman Reigns won. We were there.
Okay,
and it was a disaster.
right.
An absolute
And we've been here
disaster.
every year since.
Yeah.
Right.
But the matches were good. Matches were good.
The matches were fine.
I said
tonight,
just,
like tonight was it was the matches were
But
not.
tell me why I have to see Sheamus and Cesaro and Seth Rollins in the Royal Rumble when they're in the next match.
Right. You
What's
knew they
the
weren't going to
point?
be that long. You knew that.
there were
You knew
so
they
many
had
other
no
guys
shot.
that could have thrown in there.
You're telling me you couldn't fill that spot with anybody else? All these guys that want to come back and you're in Philly for one.
Yeah.
I mean, that was I guess that's a better ending than Reigns in 15.
We got a question about your opinion on who wins Raw tomorrow.
Who opens Raw tomorrow?
Who opens
Shinsuke, Rousey, or Asuka? Well, Shinsuke's on SmackDown, so definitely not. Rousey, I don't think, on any show. She's not going to be on Raw for a while. I think they have nothing for her. She
Put it
probably
this
won't
way.
be in until after the pay-per-views.
Yes, you're probably right about that. But if I'm assuming she's going to go to SmackDown and face Charlotte.
I would assume that too.
Mark
That'll be the marquee matchup.
Mark Muscella, the twins are back. Daniel Bryan should have came back.
Yeah, DB's not coming back. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
I wish,
yeah, I was
but
disappointed
it's
on
not
that.
coming back.
Because, see, but again, we don't know about the whole medical thing. You always hear rumors about, what's going on, what's not. They have a built-in... They built themselves into these storylines and then don't pay them off. And it just doesn't make any sense.
Sadly.
I was very underwhelmed. I am so happy that I did not buy tickets to this event.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like I would have been better off
Yeah.
taking $3 and literally lighting it on fire.
Because we struggled over it for a while. We're like, do we do this? Do we pay all this money to go see?
I was more concerned with the food.
And we're like, you know what? The way that
Priorities, Mike. Priorities. I
the
understand.
way WWE has been progressing, it was a pretty safe choice by the time we thought it over. They were like, no, we're not doing this.
Yeah, and again, I want to thank everybody for watching. We know we have some new viewers out there. Encourage you all, like the Sports Box, like Ringside Seat. We have a lot of great content coming for you. But again, as far as tonight goes, does anybody here want to give it a grade out of 10? Because I'm low.
I'm going to go 4.
I'm going to give it a 4 too.
I'll give it a
I
5.
say 4.
Just because for Nakamura. It wasn't Reigns. Please.
But that's what we're
Please.
left. That's what we're left with, though,
That's
right?
the saving grace that it
Yeah.
wasn't Reigns.
I mean, we talk about it all the time that WWE's got to step up a little bit, and they shit the bed again. What are you going to do? They crapped the bed again.
There was absolutely nothing
No.
done right with Ronda Rousey's entrance to the WWE.
Well,
Zero.
it was bad going into it at that point, but the whole Rousey thing
You
just
might as well
really
not
tore it up at that
Right.
point.
That's what I said. If she doesn't come in at 30, she doesn't come in at all.
I like
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah.
I like the element of surprise after this. And the other thing is, if you book her in this, either Asuka or her one of them has to lose. I remember before we knew she wasn't coming out, I said, well, do they both go over? And we have a Rock Big Show 2000 Royal Rumble scenario or Hart and Luger. We don't know who touched the floor first. That would have been the best possible scenario because you can't have one of them lose. And you can't have Ronda come out in her first ever event and win the Rumble. I don't think that was that wouldn't have been justified.
Justin Roberts says, thoughts on Ziggler coming back at 30, possible future in Raw or SmackDown?
And that's another thing.
I love his character.
You brought this up, and it would.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
That'd be
Could you
great.
imagine
Oh
the
my God.
crowd pop? Because
Why couldn't they do that?
Ziggler's been doing this thing, coming out different, acting as people.
Because they hate pop.
That's why. If they had hit Cult of Personality, first of all, I'd have to change my pants for one, and then
And we would have had to witness it.
I would have been very pissed about it. But I'm
That's
just
a little
saying.
too much info for me.
No, it's not because I love CM Punk. But the point I'm trying to make is everything's wrong. I'm trying not to sit here and bash the product, but I feel like I have no choice. I think there's nothing
What
that
else
I
is
can.
new lately?
There's nothing I can cling to and say, "Wow, you did that so well." Other than Takeover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
Well, you know
love
what it is? I mean, you got Triple H runs NXT, and Vince has no say in that. And he's got all
And
the
Vince
say in
is
WWE.
too worried about XFL now.
No, well.
Right.
So his baby falls by the wayside.
Again, guys, your questions, comments come in. We'll answer them. We're going to be on for another. We'll see where the show goes. Dave Birnbaum, remember when we all went to WrestleMania 29 and looked at a pillar? So, Dave, you weren't a fan of our seats. That's fine. It's okay. You got a chance to spend the night with me.
At least that was a decent WrestleMania.
So we all agree. Yeah, it was. Even though it was so predictable. We have some people in the back. Anyway, guys, yeah, comments, questions, bring them in. Again, I thought that
Are we charging tickets?
Well, he did win $5 bills.
Yeah.
Just get him out of here.
He doesn't know who it is. But you know what? Again, where I will give WWE credit is they didn't let Reigns win again. I think we all thought when the Rumble, the way it was playing itself out, that it was Reigns again, and the crowd was not having it.
They would have tore down the place down.
Imagine if the last two were Cena and Reigns. That's what my fear was that they were going to be the last two and just...
You would have heard
booing. Oh my
like
God.
You wouldn't even imagine.
Well, you already got the "You both suck" chant.
Yeah.
Which was
great.
so Philly.
Spot on. Good job, Philly.
Philly did a good job with what they had to work with.
I mean, if you look at the card, right? So the first match, it opens up with a WWE Championship match.
Right. A little
So
surprised.
Which was horrible, by the way.
Apparently, Mrs. Velardi is not happy with your lack of
She can walk.
lack of talking.
You can start walking.
Do you have any comments? for the
Start
crowd?
walking, I'll pick you up.
She won money?
Steph, what do you think?
Yeah, you won $50. Relax.
That's... So it was a really awkward match to start off. This handicap match for a championship, they win is going to be co-champions. Who in the blue hell thought that was actually going to work?
They did as well as they possibly could with that.
AJ Styles should be your main eventer in every single pay-per-view.
Thank you.
First
I
of
was
all.
just going to say that.
And his outfit tonight was fantastic.
Keep it clean, Dave.
Yeah,
Maybe him.
We're not going to read that comment on the
No.
air.
WWE, if you're listening,
Family
please
show.
do not screw up the WrestleMania main event and put somebody else in the match.
By the way-
Well, here's the thing.
Please.
Yeah,
That's all I
it was
ask.
so obvious. It was so obvious that in the Universal title match that Kane was there just
To take
because
the pinfall.
to take the pinfall. We
course.
said it.
That was the most predictable match of the night.
Does Kevin Zane called us nerds? Does terrible pay-per-views like this make you
We
appreciate
are
the
nerds.
smaller promotions like Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling, Wrestle Kingdom?
No.
Where was Chris Jericho tonight?
Yeah.
He was
He was
my
on-
winner.
right here.
Where were the guys that were
Hey!
on Raw 25?
He was my winner. How do you have Chris Jericho go over to NJPW, have that amazing match with Megan, and don't bring him back and make him something big in the Royal Rumble? First of all, he's notorious for being in the Rumble for like every single Rumble.
He holds the record for most time
Yeah.
spent in the Rumble in his career, yeah.
It's like 8 hours.
They dropped the
It's
ball on a
ridiculous.
lot of different people. They could have brought some people back.
Oh,
You know,
dude,
even the
what
older
a
wrestlers. You saw
horrendous. That was the worst
the
match
women.
I've
You had
ever
Trish
seen.
come out. You had the women's Rumble was better.
Joe Gonzalez wants to know where Samoa Joe was. I'm under the impression he's still injured.
He's still injured, yes.
Yeah.
I'll also like to make a comment about the Women's Rumble. There were a little reminder why, the early to mid 2000s women wrestling was not that good. Because you saw when they came back, and it was like they really struggled to execute their moves, and they struggled to move around the ring. Outside of Trish, and then Lita looked really, really sluggish and
did.
oh my
did.
god! I'm like, she
That-
almost broke
that
her
was
neck
my-
on the,
that was my
broke her
person,
damn
by
neck
the
on a moonsault. I'm like, oh my god!
That was my person.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Motion.
It
But,
is.
yeah,
broke her
but,
neck,
but
Yeah, right.
the women's match. Once you had the actual, once it got down to the end, to the last like 10 people,
was good.
It was good.
A friendly reminder to the heckler in our chat room, Dave Birnbaum, that this show is brought to you by Dave Birnbaum with Remax Community. If you're in the South Jersey area, if you're looking to buy, sell, or rent some real estate, give Dave a call. 856-524-2927. Hashtag buywithburn.
I did.
Love you, Dave.
I bought with Burn. Didn't I, Dave?
So I
Joe-
think
I would have laughed watching Stacey Keebler out there. The funny thing about they actually, what they did with the Women's Rumble,
Should we talk about Dave's poster?
no.
Okay.
Dave had a
talk
Stacey
about that
Keebler
Davis
poster.
better.
No.
So.
Any thoughts?
Of what?
Thoughts, Michael?
I think we've all been watching WWE. Well, you guys more than me, but WWE a lot now, and you're even though these matches are bad and it turns bad like this, you're still hoping they turn the corner. We all watch
that's
to see
the- yeah.
it get better. It can't get any worse. But
We're like
been-
Cleveland Brown fans when it
right,
comes to
right.
to
It's been
wrestling.
it's been mediocre at best right now.
And we're just like, oh well, maybe next year. Well, maybe next year. Well, maybe next year.
Yeah.
How about Elias? What happened there?
Yeah.
I mean, not only was he
Son
not
of a
in
bitch.
it long, but he should have been one of the last people in the.
He
in
should have
the
been
match.
bastard.
Gronk.
Not just because of you.
Yeah, it was good of me.
Yeah, I mean, like so many people say this is the time to showcase new talent and give them a good push. And other than Nakamura, they didn't really do that.
The one surprise I think in the Rumble, was Adam Cole. I think the only two surprises, because Shane Helms does not count, points, may God have mercy on your soul, is Andrade Cien Almas and Adam Cole. Mm-hmm. And Adam Cole's over. Adam Cole is over.
Adam Cole, baby!
I
was excited to see him then.
I mean, you saw
Especially after the war
Sheamus come out with the Mohawk?
Yeah, for 2 seconds.
You saw it come out, you knew he wasn't going to be long because he had another match.
Yep.
And he was in and out. He was in and out in 2 seconds. It was like
Cesaro.
And here's the thing too.
Just in for a little while. I should know.
Well, Rollins is a great worker.
he didn't do much. He didn't do much.
He can be in the Rumble for 10 minutes and then
Credit-
come back and do the tag match.
Speaking of that, credit to Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, for spearheading that Rumble.
Absolutely.
Because I mean, they in retrospect, they really needed workhorses, and they got it from their two workhorses.
Yeah. That's all I have.
Guys, what do you think? Let me see a little bit of
I
comments.
have some Eagles Patriots talk here. I don't really
We don't care.
Dan Baker
Especially if you're
reporting
a
that
Patriots
Rousey
fan.
signed a full-time contract per ESPN. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
But again, what I'm going to remember from this Rumble is they actually set the table and then just really failed to deliver.
And then pulled the tablecloth of it.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
what it did. It was awful.
it was like Razor with the
They set
I'll
the
see the table
table
for
and
you,
they
man.
didn't cook anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like I said, you could have put her in at 30 and bring her out, put her in the ring, dance around a little bit, then get her out. And then that's it. She
And I don't know where you go. I don't know where you go from here. I mean, it's pretty clear that they're going to set up Raw with the Elimination Chamber. The winner of that match is going to face Brock. It's going to be Reigns.
It's going to be Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. And it's going to be obviously Nakamura and AJ Styles, which should be okay. Styles will make him look way better than he is, like he does with everyone. And I guess Reigns will beat Lesnar. That's my prediction for WrestleMania, and it's going to suck.
The only problem with the Styles Nakamura match is I think it doesn't have the appeal to like the casual.
It doesn't. No, I mean, you're going to have Styles, who's a decent talker, and you're going to have Nakamura, who can't talk at all. And has nothing to do with him.
Is this
I know he's from a different country.
Japanese. I mean, this is the first women's
Japan
Rumble.
really
Well,
is.
you
The first women's Rumble,
Came
but
out
I'm
the big
saying,
winners tonight.
Yeah.
Asuka's great.
I mean, that says something for the business.
Well, I mean, I think that if you ask me, they're really trying to bite off of as much of New Japan Pro Wrestling as they possibly can right now because
It's hot.
The best match. I mean, the bar is set for match of the year, and it got set 4 days into the year. Mm-hmm. So I mean, they know that the interest is there.
They have to deliver.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nakamura does nothing for me. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it again and again. Asuka's great, but going back to Nakamura for a second, number one, the dancing, it's a little goofy. I'm not crazy about it. Number two, I obviously understand he's from a different country and there's a language barrier there. So I can't relate to him. I just can't.
Then get him a mouthpiece.
Right. And right, exactly. And three, he's good in the ring. He's not great. He's not on Cena's. He's not on Styles' level. And he's not ever going to be elite in my eyes. He's never going to be one of those Hall of Famers, one of those big stars. Maybe I'm wrong, but until he, like Brian said, gets a mouthpiece or develops,
he needs
develops
a
a little bit more
to be
right.
for him for his young
Develops a little bit more in the ring. He's just everything's rushed. It really is.
Joe Gonzalez, also, why are Daniel Bryan and Shane acting friendly all of a sudden?
Well, because their guy won the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
With SmackDown guy. There's no rivalry. You can't try to build one.
No.
You work for the same company.
No, they're different brands. Seriously.
Joe Gonzalez, I'm assuming no female Rumble next year. Half the Rumble was old wrestlers. Doubt they will all agree to come back next year. Well, you know what, Joe? I'm going to disagree with that because they're setting themselves up for it. Mm-hmm. NXT is just full of women, of really, really talented people.
I would have really liked to see more
but
of the women from NXT.
I can't keep track of who's where as it is. Imagine when they bring in all this new talent. You're going to be like, wait, who's where? Who's on what show? Where'd this lady come from? Where'd that guy come from? It's going to be nuts.
Joe Newman says he loved it. I hope you didn't like
There's
the Ronda Rousey part.
There's one.
I just, I'm already soured on what they're going to do with Rousey because I think the music's not a good fit. I think it's a bite off of Roddy Piper, and I get that because she's a fan.
We already knew they were going to ruin it.
We should have known.
But she came in with no attitude. And I expected Ronda Rousey, if she come in, she comes in with
unless
attitude.
that's just like the.
No, but I don't know about the pointing to the sign was extremely just awkward.
You know what it was to me? It was almost like she came in
she
late.
did it 3 times.
It was almost like she came in late to the Rumble in the back, and they said, "Okay, look, I want you to go out, wave to everybody, go up in there, shake hands, point to the thing, and then come on back.
And
And that's exactly what it was. It was
And she
terrible.
doesn't even have a beef with Asuka yet.
No.
And she puts her hand out to, I guess, congratulate her. And Asuka just slaps her hand.
And she smiled at him.
And she doesn't do anything
I mean, yeah.
She doesn't do anything to Charlotte or.
Right.
And just a side point to all of this, right? This happens all the time. Is social media and the internet have kind of ruined wrestling because stuff leaks, everybody knows about it, so on and so forth.
Because it got it so high for her to come out, and then that's the way I felt.
Right. It was
But
a
if
whole
I-
year, and then you dropped the
But
beat.
if no, we're in South Jersey, so we're in the Philly area. Why do they not fly people into a different goddamn airport than the one where the event is, where people are watching and people show up?
Fly her in Baltimore. Or
You have a damn private jet. You make them fly
Newark.
commercial?
Newark.
You're running $1 billion business. Seriously? Like, you're this stupid?
Yeah.
No attention to detail. I don't know. I was very underwhelmed. Let's see.
I think we're all mad at that.
Chris Wilhelm, the Royal Rumble, keep all the bum low card guys in the locker room and use these spots for vintage guys. We all know they won't win, but at least we'll provide a few pops. I agree.
I agree with that.
Joe Gonzalez, she didn't need an attitude. Her attitude is the same as Charlotte's. Just smile because those ladies don't know what's about to happen to them. Daniel Bakley, Resident, I'll see you there, to Oscar referring to Mania. Well, I don't know about that.
Dave, you should go to bed. You should go somewhere else, Dave. That would be nice.
We'll wrap it up here in about a minute or so.
Yep.
Any just final thoughts after this?
I was so disappointed in the
Yeah. Well, we got a belt.
in the championship match.
We got a belt, though.
The triple threat for the Universal Championship.
Horrendous.
I mean,
It was
first
just-
off,
just
it
a
was
brawl.
predictable, and then
What'd
it
you
had its
expect?
spots, but it's like when you have three huge guys in there and you don't have just the athletic, you take away from the athletic portion of it, and it's just like three huge guys like running around and smashing shit up, and then, you don't really see the actual wrestling.
I agree with Hess. I mean, my whole thing is when I watch the Rumble, yes, the new guys from NXT and all that stuff, it's pretty good. I want to see some of the older guys, surprise me. Give me Ric Flair coming out there. Who cares? I'm just saying a guy like where you're gonna get that big loud pop. Oh my God, Ric Flair came back.
Yep.
Who cares if he gets thrown out? I'm not expecting him to win. I want somebody out there who I'm gonna look to. If I'm in the crowd, which thank God we weren't this year.
Thank God.
I just want to get that pop and that and Stone Cold came out or The Rock came out. I want to get excited.
We got Jerry Lawler tonight.
The Rumble's always good for one, two, three of those, exactly what Mike's talking about. That it's for nostalgia, and they gave us the Hurricane and Rey Mysterio.
The Hurricane.
The Hurricane
That was terrible.
That was
I
awful.
could have gone the rest of my life and not seen Shane
The
Helmsley.
Hurricane was
I would have rather
awful.
seen you come out, Brian.
No, I wouldn't have.
I would have.
No, he would come
I
out
love he
late
did
here.
this about 6 times
Yeah.
to get some.
And when he
pops.
was out, he did too. He's on the steps.
So,
Anything
I just have one word for this year's Rumble.
Putrid.
Disappointing. Disappointing. Because we all knew the whole...
we say it a lot, though.
We say it 40, 50 times now. The whole Rousey thing was very disappointing. You knew it was going to happen, and the way they did it was, I think it was crappy.
and there you go. So that's tonight's live reaction to the 2018 WWE Royal Rumble. We were all very unhappy.
You actually asked a question on our site earlier, and you said, in one word, how do you feel after the Rumble? And I said confused, and I have to pat myself in the back and say that was
You
pretty
nailed
spot
it.
on.
Yeah. Yep.
Confused, unfortunately.
I said lose.
But you know what? Tune in tomorrow night
I was.
to Raw and see where it goes, because
We're not.
you don't have to, but I suggest doing so just to see where it goes, and at the worst, you get a laugh out of it.
You still want to watch, usually the Raw after one of the big 4 pay-per-views is like, the best Raws of the year. So it's worth tuning into, see where these storylines go. Same with SmackDown.
After Raw last week, it can't go much lower, can it?
Right, and
Exactly.
and we're officially, this marks the day, we're officially on the path to WrestleMania.
Road to WrestleMania.
Road to WrestleMania.
So keep your eye out. Please like the Sports Box. Like us on Twitter and Facebook, both at Sports Box Show. Like Ringside Seat at Ringside Seat SB on Facebook. Our YouTube channel is great. Find us there. We're going to be bringing a lot of content for you guys all over the sports world. You're going to see a lot of fresh new faces in the Sports Box in 2018 that don't look like me or Mike.
And remember, Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, got a great episode. We got a 3-bagger. We're going to have Anthony with us. We're going to have Paul McCree. We're going to have a good time. We're going to start talking Eagles Super Bowl. Well, Eagles Patriots Super Bowl. Some other stuff on the table about All-Star games. We're going to have a good time. Make sure you're tuning in for us on Facebook.
Go Birds.
Get some sleep.
Yeah, baby.
If that pay-per-view didn't do it for you, just get some sleep.
Sports Box, the only pin
My
that matters,
fiance's
folks.
gonna kill me.
It's right here. Thanks for watching.
Ready to go to bed.
I'm ready to.
See you.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or rent in the South Jersey area, give Dave Birbaum a call with RE/MAX Community, 856-524-2927, and buy with Burn.
One, two, three.
Don't forget to subscribe.